everyone. Greetings on this Holy Thursday. We thought it would be a great opportunity to put together a little video for our community, to be able to share greetings as we begin this most sacred time of the Triduum. I'll also share a little bit about where the senior leadership team we've been at, both in our work, but also where we've been at personally. So hello to you all. Greetings again. I'm here at the office trailer. Sister Mary, hello.
Hello, everyone. I'm here in my apartment in Dundas.
Rachel.
Hey guys, I'm here at my house, hanging out.
And perhaps some of you haven't seen before, not a direct member of the senior leadership team, but one we depend upon a great deal, Erin Holmes. Hello, Erin.
Hello.
Erin's our communications and administration coordinator, does a lot behind the scenes to make us look good. So thanks, Erin, for joining us today. So I thought we'd start just to talk briefly about the impact that you've been feeling, members of the team, during this really unique and difficult moment for us as a church, this difficult moment for us as a world. So I don't know, Sister Mary, Rachel, if you want to jump in first, just the impact of this time, how your experience has been.
I think the greatest impact with me was that first weekend when we couldn't have liturgy that weekend. And I mean, I always loved going and seeing people, but I just realized how much I loved going and seeing people, and that I wouldn't be able to see everyone. And even if it was just, you know, a wave from a distance or saying hello or a smile or anything like that, I missed that contact and have been missing the community.
Yeah, for sure. Rachel, Erin?
Yeah, I mean, I think mine is somewhat similar to Sisters in that first, it felt like, you know, like D-Day, that first Friday when all the classes were shutting down and the university, like there were updates every hour, it felt like. And for me, especially with some of the new, you know, transitions and things like that we're going through and I'm going through, it felt so sudden and so difficult to suddenly feel like I wasn't going to see all of these people in the same way, and I didn't know when I would be able to see them again. And yeah, so it was that was probably the hardest moment for me. But yeah, but it's gotten more manageable since then, which is good.
You know, we find some new ways, I know, of connecting with different people over these days. So it doesn't seem like it's all just changed or over. What was right. Trying to find new ways to connect. So. Erin, you've been living a different reality with your family and so on at home. So what's this time been like for you?
It's come with its challenges, for sure. But I feel like I'm kind of just moving from moment to moment, which has kind of been a blessing in a way, that I don't really try to look at big picture things too much, because that could be a little overwhelming. So I'm just doing moment to moment things that I got to get done, and then, you know, managing to sort of keep calm in that way.
Yeah. If only you didn't have a boss who was such a big picture kind of thinker. Father, just what? Anyway, we've been working hard, and some of you know my own, you know, experience these past days. If you're listening to any of my musings and so on, there's different things that go through a priest's mind, like the rest of us, during this time, from trying to understand my own priesthood and how to serve in this time. That's been a big thing. Trying to think about what it means to be in relationship not only with my community, but with my brother priest, with my bishop, during all of these different changing procedures and guidelines and decrees and so on. So it's been interesting. The other thing I think I've been reflecting on in my own prayer, maybe in a unique way as we lead towards the Triduum and celebration of the Lord's death, is just this reality of physical and mental vulnerability. You know, I think we've all experienced that in a different way during this time. Certainly the physical with the virus, but it's led to a lot of, you know, mental as well, you know, struggles. So just kind of wrestling with that in my own heart during this time, more a deeper way. So watch my musings. There's lots of things that go through this old brain of mine. Some of them are profound, some not so much. So just glad to be able to share together. Thanks each one of you for giving us a little update. We thought we'd also get this opportunity to briefly just touch upon some of the, I don't want to say the practical stuff that we've been doing, But yeah, just things that have come up these past weeks in your own ministry as a member of the leadership team, and how we've collaborated together to try to bring some things to our community. Anyone
I can start, sure. I just want to give a shout out to the team, because they have been absolutely amazing, Father and Aaron and Rachel, with their ability to go with this, and in terms of all the digital computer stuff that I laugh and say I'm the dinosaur of the group, and I am, but I've been relying on emails a lot and phone calls to people, and what's been the gift of that is that normally you don't get much chance to connect at a great length with people. So when I'm talking on the phone or emailing people, we're sharing about what's happening in our lives in different ways. So that's been a real gift of this experience. And talking longer with people I wouldn't normally talk longer with. So that's been great. Working with the team around our daily emails and socials and things like that, and just being there for whatever way that I can be. One exciting venture with the great work of Karen Shalamanik is we're developing a volunteer phone tree, so that you as a community can now be reaching out to care for one another, that it's not just the senior leadership team, but that we as a community will be connecting with you. And so you'll hear more about that in the days to come.
I can go next, I guess. So yeah, it's been, I think, one of the blessings of this strange kind of COVID season era that we're in is that it makes rise to the top what's actually really important. So in trying to figure out what we're doing and how we navigate connecting with one another, we've had to figure out, well, what really matters, and it's those relationships, and that's more important than kind of snazzy programming or anything like that. It's really relationships. So I think that has been kind of like Sister, a joy for me to be able to figure out how to really deepen and continue to develop those connections and relationships in our community. We've been doing that with the students. They've, a lot of them have been kind of reaching out within their own community in lots of different ways, through social media, through these kinds of video chats. We've had Lexio every Monday since the lockdown happened. And then last night, the four of us and many of the students, some alumni and other members of our community got together over a giant Zoom call. There were about 43 of us on that Zoom call, and it was just such a joy. And it was incredible that we could have that kind of experience together, even though we're not physically together. So I'll be touching base with some of our students over the next few days as we live the Triduum still together, even though we're not physically together. And also plugging into some of what Father and Sister and Aaron are working on with the students as well. So we're looking forward to that for sure.
Yeah, thanks so much. Aaron, you've been busy these past weeks.
Yeah, I'm lucky. I mean, it's good to be busy. And yeah, I've been really interested in just getting deeper into the ways that we can communicate with people and the things that we can do to get out there. We're fortunate that we kind of, I think we were maybe a couple steps ahead of some other parishes where, we already had our email lists sort of set up. And so now we're just kind of building on that. And I think that's kind of a silver lining to this, is really, building on that and finding ways to get more information out to more people and faster and better.
Mm-hmm. What just came to mind, what are the names that people could find us on the socials under?
Then our handles?
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, I don't know exactly what they are, because they're not all the same. Okay. Because they were set up before I came on board. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure if you search for Canadian Martyrs, you'll be able to find it. Yeah. And you can find them on our website. Yeah, there's a lot of things coming out, the areas of communication you're working with to try to get the information there for people, from our website to the socials to the emails that are going out. Just such great thanks to you, Aaron. It's been invaluable to have you, not just on the sidelines, on the front lines. So yeah, thanks to all of you for the work that you've been doing. It's incredible. I've never felt busier with all of you. Yeah. On a daily basis, we as a team check in.
For myself, that probably is one of the big things is trying to think about as a team how we can kind of stay together and move forward. It's been one of the priorities of these past weeks. Obviously, the online ramp up and thinking about strategy, it's been on my mind, still wrestling with it a little bit, but I think we're making some good progress. And then, individual emails and calls, people are, trying to get in touch with me or trying to, sort out in this time how to deal with this time, but also maybe even just questions about life in general. It's a good time when we all have a little bit more quiet. So I've been connecting with individuals with those questions as well. The other big thing that's not at all related to this COVID crisis is the construction project, the Cornerstone project that continues to be ongoing. I hear in the trailer right now, and of course, just outside of the trailer, between here and the church, there's this massive hole on which they're pouring foundations and footings and lots of work, lots of action. So I'm the only one that's working in the office here these days. Everyone else is just working from home. And so I'm really the only one who gets to see all of these things in person that are ongoing. It's a pretty exciting thing, and there's a lot of work behind the scenes to keep that project going as well, to make sure that we're staying safe, and the constructor and those responsible are taking that very seriously. But just to coordinate details about the building, it's I'm enjoying kind of walking through the process of this build. So it's something that continues during these days. Good. Well, I wanted to record this video today and to send it out today with the SLT, because today is the day in which we remember Jesus instituting the priesthood, Jesus instituting the Last Supper, the Eucharist. It's something that we've been separated from. Maybe I'll ask, off the top question just about your experience. If you have anything you want to share, no obligation, about being away from the Eucharist or spiritually during this time, how other members of the team have kind of lived this time, and any kind of words of wisdom as we enter into these really sacred days ahead, knowing we don't get to receive the Lord or we don't get to celebrate in the normal way, but any advice from you spiritually about how to enter into it all the same?
I think, part of our spirituality as religious sisters is that we participate in daily Eucharist. And I've been a sister now for 40 years, and this is unprecedented not to be participating in daily Eucharist in the way that I always have. So it's made me aware of a few things. Number one, we have missionary sisters who work in the north of Canada, far north, and they don't have access to Eucharist in the same way we do down in the south. So it's given me a sense of awareness of what their life is like. It's helped to deepen a sense of yearning inside of me. And this is, in all honesty, I don't know if this happens to the rest of you, but sometimes when I'm at Mass or receiving communion, the mind can wander so quickly, and you forget what you're receiving and who it is you're receiving. And so just that appreciation for the Eucharist itself is just deepening, and the yearning is good. I think it's been really good to be in touch with that yearning. And I do watch daily Mass on TV, and I really am finding that I'm engaging with it. For me, it really is Eucharist that's happening, and to be there to receive, even though it's through a video camera, it still really touches my heart. So I've been very grateful for anything that's been online.
And you've been doing the tour of churches online too.
Well, I'm now a parishioner at some other online parishes.
Don't tell the pastor.
Don't tell the pastor. But my heart is always with Canadian Martyrs, and so I'm looking, and I always am grateful for anything that we have, of course, and for the Eucharist that Father's been able to put online for us.
No obligation, but Aaron or Rachel, any thoughts?
I think for me, I've had periods in my life where I've been able to go to daily Mass, and periods where I haven't, because I've worked I haven't always been in ministry. So, but it's different, it's different to not have that opportunity. Like it's different when you can't because of work or circumstances and other things, but then just to digest the fact that it isn't possible, not just because of circumstances that I'm living, but in the whole universal church, in the sense that we're we're all fasting in a sense from the celebration of the Mass. And so I think it made Lent very, it was so different, you know, this ending of Lent, but in a sense that experience of fasting became even more visceral, and kind of what Sister was saying, that experience of yearning, that desire and longing for the Lord became more real, and just how much for granted, I take it when I'm able to receive him. So it was a good reality check for me too, to realize like I need to be more in touch with who it is that I am, that comes to me in the Eucharist, and who it is that I am able to receive in myself. And the other thing that it's done for me is, just like I was saying about important things in our community, it's brought up the important things in my own heart, my own life, like the space that's been created by not being able to gather has forced me to look at myself and think, okay, well, what's going on in here, you know? And so then when I watch Mass and when I'm participating in the church in whatever way I can, I think I'm more aware of myself, of who I am, than I have been in the past. And the last thing that's actually been very powerful for me is some of the experience of being part of the universal church. So not being able to gather as our community is so hard, but also there's the other side of it where I feel more connected to the whole church in a way than I ever have been, because everywhere, all around the world, people are living what we are living in this experience of not having the Eucharist. So that's been very powerful as well for me.
Some powerful thoughts. Thanks for sharing. I'm really looking forward to celebrating the next days, but I would say I have the gift, obviously, these past days, to be able to celebrate Mass, to receive the Lord in the Eucharist. But these past 3 weeks have also taught me just how this is something that's not just for me, and how my priesthood, even as we celebrate this Holy Thursday, isn't meant to be for me, for my private consumption or benefit. And so even, I think even the Lord has been holding back a little bit of the consolation from me, not to, be able to just get too high on my horse that I still have, so thanks for sharing that longing. And it's something I've heard from others. It really helps to transform my own celebration of the Eucharist, that I kind of bring that longing to the Lord for you, and pray for you in that time, even though you're not able to be with me. And so today's Holy Thursday, and so I'll be celebrating the Mass tonight for the institution, and we'll be posting that online for you to be able to participate with me as you're able from your homes. And I would ask you in a special way, so we're recording this on Holy Thursday for a reason. It's because it's this reality of leadership in our community, this reality even of the priesthood, is something we know is shared by all the baptized, in a unique way in our community is shared, that leadership and the senior leadership team. And so, as we celebrate that Eucharist, to be praying for all the leaders in our community, the senior leadership team, and many others who have done so much, during these days and months and years before, to sustain us. We always offer this Holy Thursday Mass actually for the deceased pastors of this community and deceased chaplains to McMaster University. And so perhaps you'll be remembering some of your favorite pastors of old, or old chaplains at the university. There's so many who have gone before me in their role of priesthood, and so many who have gone before us in roles of leadership. So just to hold them in a special way. So watch for the Mass. It's going to be posted on our website and hopefully out on the socials later today. Tomorrow afternoon, we'll also be posting a Good Friday service for you to be able to participate in, and that'll be live after 3 o'clock. Obviously, that holy hours in the church when we are silent at the foot of the cross, knowing the Lord has gone before us into suffering and death and pain, whatever type we experience, He's there, and that He's, of course, going to transform it. And so we'll gather together again after the silence of Holy Saturday. This year, unfortunately, we're not able to celebrate the Easter Vigil. It's usually one of the most beautiful celebrations of the whole year. And so instead, we'll just gather on Sunday morning. We'll have a Mass posted Sunday morning for you to be able to participate in from your homes. rejoicing in that reality of the resurrection, that new life that's promised to us and that comes to us even in these unique days. So really hope you'll be able to participate the next days in my celebration of the Eucharist. But again, it's not just for me alone, but it's for all of you, and to be present with the senior leadership team and our whole community as we live these most sacred of days.
Father, could
Yes.
we ask the community to also remember in prayer our RCIA candidates, some of whom may had been potentially looking at being received or confirmed this weekend, if they could hold them in special prayer this weekend.
Yeah, there's a deep longing of them, to be in that
Yeah.
unique relationship with Christ that we take for granted, as I think Rachel, you had shared, or Sister Mary. And so it's kind of a sad time for them as well, not to be able to be at the Easter Vigil when we would normally receive them. So for sure, there's 5 of them that we've been preparing. 5 of them in your prayers, please all. Is there anything else I'm missing? Please feel free to chime in. No? I guess I'll say that to watch out tomorrow. I'm not going to record a Saturday vigil or video about the appeal for the weekend for this Easter collection. We've been doing that tithing each week. We do have something in place, but I'm actually going to be including it in my Friday reflection. And so to watch that video for details about what we'll be offering to those in need. Otherwise, we walk together these days. And so one of the things of these days that we normally enter into on Holy Thursday is that they are one liturgy. We begin the liturgy on Holy Thursday, it continues on Good Friday, and is only completed at the Easter Vigil or on Sunday morning. There's no final blessing on Thursday or on Friday. It's because it continues. It's not until Easter Sunday that we, like those first disciples who found the empty tomb, went, go in peace, go announce the gospel of the Lord, go into our world and tell the good news of the resurrection. And so I really hope that these days, will be an experience where you enter into the sacredness, even sometimes how these days can confound us, even our own lives right now, confounding us in our world, but that they will come to that place of resolution, of peace, and even of excitement and joy, knowing the new life that God offers to us in the midst of this time and in the life of eternity that he invites us to. So if you each just want to maybe give a little happy Easter, blessed Easter in your own words, we'll finish off with that.
All right. Happy Easter, everybody. What a joy it is to be able to say that to you, even though I can't in person. It's such a delight to say it to you in this way. So happy Easter. I hope the Lord blesses you with every grace.
Yes. Saying blessed Easter to everyone. We're certainly remembering you all in prayer and all your intentions. We know there are some hard times out there for people in very many different ways. And so we do carry you in our hearts. We'll certainly remember you this weekend as we have that great privilege of being with Father. We're not going to be physically with Father, but we'll be with Father as he shares his gifts of priesthood with us. And just know you're in our hearts.
Yes, happy Easter to everyone. I know a lot of people are experiencing some disappointment that they can't be together with their families, celebrating a big Easter dinner and wearing all their new Easter clothes. But I think it's important to focus on how wonderful and joyful and amazing it's going to be when we finally do get to join with our family and friends after this is all over.
Beautifully said.
Great. Well, thanks, Sister Mary, Rachel, Aaron, and of course, for me, not only Easter, a happy Easter, but Easter blessings from the gift of what our community is, and the blessing that you all are to us as a team. Really bless and bring your families the joy and the peace from wherever you are, however separated we are, that we feel that joy and peace with one another and with our good God, who has triumphed over sin and death, and who is risen to that glorious Christ is risen, truly. He is risen.
Amen.
He is risen.
God bless you.